24/7 cash flow family. This landlord tenant case is putting the owner on the brink of bankruptcy. Let's check out what's going on and what my advice would be to her to kind of help her to get out of this situation.
And tonight, only on KHOU 11, a property owner in Brazoria County says tenants living in her home are driving her to bankruptcy.
She says they have not paid rent at all this year, and navigating an eviction through the court system is taking a long time. Matt Doherty is following this story for us.
When I hear that the eviction is taking a long time, I'm constantly thinking it's got to be because of bad paperwork, not having your rental license, not having your suitability certificates, your use and occupancy. There's going to be some type of requirements, and that's why you want to speak with an eviction attorney, because they'll give you that information before you become a landlord wherever you're at, because there are going to be different rules everywhere you're at. But having that paperwork allows the eviction to go faster. When there are issues, then it can drag. Maybe that happened here. We'll find out.
Tonight, Matt, seems like this is not an easy process.
The owner of the house came to us looking for some help for a problem that doesn't seem to have a simple solution.
I can't even come to my home. This is the most disheartening thing that you can imagine.
𝐋𝐄𝐓𝐿𝐒 has owned this home in Iowa Colony for years. She decided to rent it out when she accepted a job out of state. What at first seemed like a good investment decision has turned into...
That turns a lot of out-of-state landlords. There's a lot of people moving. That's how I became an out-of-state landlord. I've done over 300 deals from out-of-state, 400 now. That's what happened to me. I got a job somewhere else and moved out. And then you become a landlord.
A nightmare.
January completely, she stopped paying rent. February, no rent. March, no rent.
When 𝐋𝐄𝐓 says the tenants quit paying rent in January, she gave them a notice of eviction. But when she went to file the eviction at her local JP court in Brazoria County, she says she was told she'd have to wait until 30 days had passed.
They've been living.
So it sounds like she didn't give the 30-day notice. This is when you're doing it backwards. You don't have the eviction attorney. You don't know what to do. There's a lot of fear, right? But when you start with the eviction attorney and get your information and work backwards, now you're right there. You reach out to the attorney. They tell you, look, we got to send a 30-day notice. You send it so you don't get to the court after filing. And then they say, hey, did you serve the 30-day notice with this legal doctrine in the notice per state requirements or per local township requirements? So you have to get that information.
Living in my house for months, won't pay rent.
Now she says the tenants have stopped communicating completely. And whenever she comes
That's how it
over
happens.
now, the tenants call the police.
2 grown people are mad at me for paying their rent, taking care of his family as a...
I think she's just furious, which, look, it's understandable. And your first eviction or two, you'll be like this. You'll be furious, right? The entire time. You're irate. It's scary. You don't know what to do. You feel like the court is fighting against you. You know, it's just not a great situation. But as you get more sophisticated and you learn how to navigate these things, you have less of an emotional response to it. Your response is very, hey, you know what? Fire you like launch the missiles, basically. Release the hounds, release the attorney. Let's get it done. Let's move on. Let's re-tenant. Let's reprocess. Let's go. Because you've been around that ring before. You've rounded those bases before. You know what it is. You stroke the check and you move on.
As a man, but he's mad at me.
The question is manhood.
We tried to
Paying
speak
your
with
bills
the
as a
tenants
man.
ourselves. 𝐋𝐄𝐓 opened the automatic garage and the tenant opened the door.
Oh, actually, no, they're still here. It just wasn't locked.
Hello, can we talk to you? My name is Matt. I'm with
said
Channel
come in.
11. Okay, come on. No, not the camera. Can we talk to you about it?
The homeowner,
He's not trying to go in there. He's like, no, you come in. You can come in without the camera. He's like, I'm not going behind that door. They might thug the newsman.
I can go to jail. And they'll be right here as I continue to pay their rent.
Eventually, the police did show up.
The continual coming over here, though, can constitute harassment. And at this time,
Yeah.
like we've advised you, you need to go through the JP court.
So I
in order
can't bring the
to get-
news over here to my property to tell a story.
As tenants on the property, you do need to.
Well, yeah, if she's going over there constantly, I mean, they could launch a lawsuit. I would not do that. It's a bit of an emotional response. Now, I will say, God bless her heart and God bless America, because you do need people like her out here shining a light on this stuff, because shining the light is what will allow landlord tenant laws to be potentially recrafted in a way that makes logical sense for affordable housing in the marketplace. Many of the systems are antiquated. They do need reform like any other system, and they need to be analyzed. And the only way to get a spotlight on them is through people like her. So God bless her in that sense. But in another sense, I don't want you guys out there doing this, because It's not going to accomplish the goal. The goal will be accomplished through the legal process and through the speed of getting whatever documentation or paperwork or certifications or licenses or whatever you need to get from point A to point B. So stay focused there. This is just going to get you sued by a tenant who has access to free attorneys because they may be low income, and it's a waste of your time. You're going to turn what I would view from my purview as a small problem into a massive problem, or you're going to get some type of like no contact order or something. You're getting arrested. A fight's breaking out. You just don't need to be in these situations, and they have no value. They're not going to get the person out faster in most instances, in my opinion.
Continue to go through the JP court for the appropriate channels, okay? And that's all that we can advise you at this time.
But you give them a written notice, you got 3 days to move, and they say, or don't even respond, they don't do anything, which is what normally happens, then you have the right to take your lease and go down to the JP court to file for eviction.
Realtor Troy Cothran is the treasurer for the Houston Association of Realtors. He says the process for landlords can be lengthy and expensive the longer it drags on. 𝐋𝐄𝐓 says she thought she could trust the woman who was leasing her home. Looking back, she says she wishes she'd done a background check.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever you take shortcuts when you're leasing a property, you're taking chances. My recommendation is don't take a shortcut for any person that you're going to rent your property to, because it's a business decision that you're doing.
I get it now. She's leading with the heart. She is leading this relationship with the heart. She moved her in because the person gave him a heartfelt story, and she wanted to make real estate the heart business. What you'll find out is real estate is not the heart business, it's the hurt business. And these people will rip your heart out of your chest in this game. It could be anybody. It's a tough game, this real estate game. So you want to make business decisions. You want to work with attorneys from day one. You want to do background checks, and you want to make wise decisions here, because once somebody takes possession, it is hard to get them out. It is a process. There is a cost to it. You will learn to take the emotion out of it, because you learn that it doesn't matter how emotional you are. So it's a wasted energy. It'd be better to apply it to finding better deals and, doing way better in the future than you're doing on this current deal, and just kind of continuing to fail forward, in my opinion. It can be a cost of doing business, and it's a tax write-off. So you'll take your lumps, move on, and get to the next cash flowing rental property. If you got value, like, comment, subscribe, and leave a comment that says I subscribed, or let me know what you think about landlord tenant law. Should they be reformed? What should people be doing today? Would you be out in the field with her, with the cameraman in front of the house? Let me know, drop a comment, and stay tapped into the 24/7 cash flow community, where we teach you how to leverage real estate to break free from the 9 to 5. Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor. I'll see you on the next one.